Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is USA Global TV and Radio time here. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is The Power of Etiquette and Manners. And if you've joined us before, you know it is Friday. Yay! I'm super excited. I love this program. I love everything that the British School of Excellence stands for, and the founder, Mr. Philip SYKES, who is a very dear friend. So it's an honor to welcome him and his guests today. And that's what the show is all about. It's about celebrating accomplishments. It's about saying, yes, I did something. I'm putting it out into the world, and I want to share that with you. So it's all about our guests. Let's welcome them as soon as we bring out Mr. Philip SYKES. Hello.
Friday, absolutely. Hello. How are you, Dr. Jacalyn?
I'm very excited. I'm always happy to see you, Philip. It's always a good time when you're here, and I learned so much from you. What have you been up to this week? I know we have some wonderful people backstage that you've been with and you've been gaining information from, and they've been gaining information from you. It's a team effort. Tell us more about it.
Dr. Jacalyn, it's been the most phenomenal week, and I have to say, as always, with the cohorts of the trainers that step through the door, they just keep knocking my socks off with the quality and the caliber, the passion, the drive, the determination is just extraordinary. And this week, albeit we've only got two wonderful guests in the background, we've actually had a cohort of 6 students, which have stepped in and stepped out for various reasons, but they will do some catch up later on the next trainer. But yeah, this week has been phenomenal. We've got people in the back, in the green room, who are going to be joining us, who are just passionate about making a difference in this world, giving people those quintessential tools on how to take themselves to the next level. And actually, one of the wonderful students said something quite profound and extraordinary. I think it was yesterday when we had one of our senior coaches on board delivering the importance of presentation and how we connect and build rapport. And someone said, to demonstrate the best version of yourself. And actually, if you think about it, Marsh said, well, we are best versions of ourselves, but we're going to elevate ourselves to another level. And so this is the beauty and the power of this. We can always be better than we were yesterday. And that's exactly what these students are focusing on, is taking this material and finding their own rhythm and drumbeat, and then unfolding this material to connect with their specific audiences and students.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that, Philip. Let's get them out here, find out who they are, where they're from, and how they've been enjoying this week. Let's welcome Marta and Etienne to the program. Hello.
Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for inviting.
Thank you both for being
Thank you
here.
so much for having us.
Hello. Well, thank you both. It's an absolute joy. And obviously, I'm meeting you for the first time, and you've been working with Philip. So I'd like each of you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Where in the world are you? And what is the value that you can bring to our worldwide audience? Let's start with Etienne.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn. My name is Etienne Zeeman. I'm from South Africa. I have been a butler for the last 6 years, and it's been an incredible journey working across Europe, US, in the Middle East, and back home here in South Africa. I did notice, however, that there was in South Africa a slight disconnect sometimes between the service standards in Europe and back home. We are known as the friendly nation and the sunshine nation, and we get away with a lot. However, I just felt that it could need a little bit of a tweaking. So it was no surprise that I did my course with the British School of Excellence, because they are simply the most accredited and recognized, in my opinion, in the world. And I plan to take all of this information that I've gained, which has been profound and magnificent, and give it back to my beautiful country and therefore the world.
Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, it's interesting. I have a hospitality background as well. I was in hospitality sales for years and years. And I think people have no clue whatsoever what goes into being in the hospitality industry. It is demanding. It can be exhausting. You're on, you're smiling constantly. And so I just applaud both of you for the work that you do. Thank you so much. Let's go over to Marta. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you and what's the value you can bring to our audience?
Etienne made such a beautiful introduction that it'll be very hard to do a good one after him. My name is Marta Otremska, and I represent Idealite, which is a training company that is dedicated to luxury hospitality. I am 100% Polish. However, I call myself a daughter of the world because I lived 5 years in China, I lived in Kenya, and I do travel a lot. I took the British School of Excellence course because I lacked a little bit of guidance within the etiquette and the manners, because traveling from one place to another, there are different views and different opinions. And I knew that Mr. Philip SYKES will be the one who will be my compass in my career, which way to go. And of course, I wasn't wrong. It's the best choice I made. And how I am going to bring this energy that I got from this course is definitely I'm going to switch my students' timidity for skills. I'm going to turn their know-how into real guest experience, and definitely this allows me to help them with their confidence and to build beautiful relationships, because what I observed is that people really lack of confidence and some good words, some patting on the back saying you're good, you can do better, come on, and encouragement. So this is how I am going to bring it to my business. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Wow. I love what the two of you just shared. I love that passion. And I love that sentence. I hope I'm going to get it right. That Mr. Philip would be the compass of my career. How about that, Philip? What do you have to say?
Dr. Jacalyn, you know I get tearful in these programs. The moment Etienne opened his mouth, goosebumps from here to here. Again, Marta, goosebumps from here to here. It's an honor and a privilege to have the ability to work with such incredible people. It's just phenomenal, and I just thank you. We thank you for your commitment and trusting us and believing in us, and we are here to support you all the way. And I just want to salute you and say thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, as an observer, I'm all teary here as well. So thank you both, Etienne and Marta, and thank you, Phil. By the way, we have ENKELEDA who has just joined us. Let's welcome ENKELEDA to the program. Hello, hello,
hello, hello, everyone.
Buongiorno, ENKELEDA.
Hello, buongiorno.
Right, for the benefit of Etienne and Marta, ENKELEDA, how long ago did you step through the door at the British School of Excellence?
Okay, it's been 2 or 3 years now that we know each other, and it's amazing to be here, to see these new faces that want to join.
It's amazing, right? So Etienne's based in South Africa, very strong hospitality, butler, service background. Marta's traveled the world as well. So is Etienne. They're both very well traveled. Marta's based in Poland, and again is very much focused in the hospitality sector, working with people to give them the confidence and tools to put their best foot forward. And for the benefit of the two of you, Etienne and Marta, ENKELEDA is all the way from across the water in Italy, in Albania, and has been living in Italy, midwife by profession, and has really stepped out of her comfort zone right across the board, went across to Italy and served elderly people, helping them in their homes, and is recently a new mum and is hugely passionate about etiquette and manners and emotional intelligence, and continues to study it. ENKELEDA has now launched a couple of platforms. But if I had have said to you when ENKELEDA came onto the trainer, she wouldn't have said boo to a goose.
Oh my God.
What do you say to that, ENKELEDA?
I have nothing to add because it's true. I entered as someone who was so shy, who couldn't say a word. But now I'm proud that I entered the doors of the British School of Excellence, because it opened so many doors for me. At the beginning, I thought I was going to help others, but the truth is that I helped myself. First of all, it starts with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. What I'd love to have us do next is, for people who are watching this program, we obviously have regular followers who have been with us. Philip, I think it's 2 years now, isn't it? 2 years in January. But some people still think that etiquette and manners is about opening a door. It's about how you hold your teacup. So when you decided to enroll in this program, the Train the Trainer program at the British School of Excellence, I would just like to have you share with the audience who thinks that what it's just about being posh and you have to be wealthy and that's all that etiquette and manners are. What comes up for you? I see you shaking your heads and going, no, I don't think so. Etienne, tell us why you decided to go to this program, and what does etiquette manners mean to you and in your career?
Thank you so much, Jacalyn. For me, it is about respect. Simple, easy respect. And it doesn't have to be just the rich. It's about everyone. It is about our fellow man. And unfortunately, with the day and age that we are in and social media's influence, negative influence, I believe, we've become so separated. There's no more just loving your neighbor. These concepts, a lot of people don't even know their neighbors anymore. It's, for me, manners, etiquette, it's just about being human again, about being truly the best version of ourselves, the person our mothers begged us to be, in the sense of saying please and thank you, of assisting another human being. And through the British School of Excellence, it has become more clear to me. It's about personal confidence, about personal respect, being your own brand, because we are all our own brand, if we like to believe it or not. And the face you show to the world, that is what you're going to get in return. So the more respect we have for another person or human being, animal, your vehicle, in anything that surrounds you, your space, the more respect you have, the more graciousness you have, the better you will be treated in return. And that is just magic, because your life just gets more comfortable, easier, friendlier. It is magic made human.
Outstanding. Thank you. Thank you. I love the way you just summarized that and made it very easy for people to understand. So before we go around, just one more question for you, Etienne. You're dressed very well, as is everyone here. I'm not including myself, everyone else on the stage. How important is that in etiquette and manners? And the reason I ask, I'm here in South Florida, which I love, but there are a lot of people who are really casual. I'm talking taking it to a whole new level where you think maybe you should be in your house like that, or you're at the gym, but you're at a 5-star fine dining restaurant dressed like that. What are your thoughts? Etienne,
Thank you so much. So in South Africa at the moment, it's a balmy 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And if I had to go to a lot of stores now, people would be walking bare feet, in tank tops, or it's for me, dress code is truly important, because it gives you confidence. And a nice suit, of course, it makes you feel like you're in a suit of armor. Nothing in the world can hurt you or harm you. And it's, again, that what I've mentioned earlier about respect. I don't want to necessarily see people's toes. You get summer shoes, you get winter shoes, just cover it up. They are weather-dependent clothing options to look neat. Incredible things like linen in the summer that helps you breathe. And it doesn't have to be expensive clothes. It can just be well put together clothes that fit you, your personality. It doesn't have to be ostentatious or loud. It can just be who you are, but in a nicer, more respectful manner. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think I'm going to start a new campaign. Please hide your toes. Please hide your toes. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go over to Marta. If you can share a little bit with us about why you decided to take this course, Train the Trainer, with the British School of Excellence, and then anything you want to share about etiquette and manners as well as dress.
Thank you very much. Etienne pretty much said a lot about etiquette, and I am completely in line with what he said. Quite a few things I would add that today in the world full of experts and TikToks and Reels and Instagram and anything, you may feel overwhelmed with the knowledge you should possess. Otherwise, you're perceived as a peasant, which is nothing wrong with being a peasant. We need everyone in this world. However, instead of elevating people, we make them feel a bit low because they are not aware of certain things. And I think that exactly like Etienne said, etiquette is about respect, and there should be a space for people who never had the chance to learn etiquette. And I always bring the example of Princess Diana, who many times broke the protocol because she knew that some people are not aware of certain behaviors they should possess, and they may feel overwhelmed. And she was always acting towards them, understanding them, even breaking the protocol. Also, as far as the clothing is concerned, is that we are speaking a lot about being mindful about ourselves, about others, and we sometimes don't get the idea properly. Being mindful is also not only considering what you feel, but what others may feel. And by having such a big cleavage in a place where you should not have it, you just don't put others at ease. They may feel really unpleasant. So exactly like Etienne said, it's all about respecting others. And very often we should make our message not about us, but about others. And with our what we wear says a lot about us. Like, do we want to share the message about us, or are we interested in the person next to us? Thank you.
Thank you. Very well stated. Excellent. A lot of really good points that we're bringing up here today on this platform. And I just want to share for anyone watching that there's no judgment about anyone or anything that's being shared today. It's just when you think of what is proper etiquette and manners, these are some of the things from obviously people who are well versed in these areas. So let's go over to ENKELEDA. You already have graduated from this program. You have your own platforms. How have things changed for you as a result of having been a graduate, and you still are a graduate, of the Train the Trainer program?
Okay, things have changed in all kinds of directions. And I wanted to add something to the colleagues, what they are saying about the platforms that we're using, the social media, about the fact that we have created this idea of the perfect person who needs to be all the time on top. Recently, on one of these platforms, I met a lady. I wanted to connect more with her, and I saw the word respectful on her page, and I contacted her. She talked about parenting, respectful parenting, and as she saw my name on Instagram, ENKELEDA Etiquette, she stepped a little bit. She told me, listen, I appreciate everything that you are sharing, but the word etiquette sounds a little bit hard to me, and I don't like it. And this was my case where I had the chance to share with her that we had the same ideas. Respect. It's all about being respectful. She was talking about parenting, respectful parenting. But the word etiquette, I see that it has raised a little bit of being a 5-star person, polished all the time. And she mentioned to me that she was a country girl and she wasn't all the time well dressed and she had to do all kinds of jobs. But it's about us being kind, being respectful, being saying thank you and please, as you shared before. And this is one of the areas that has helped me in my life as well, because I have had the chance to use these principles in my life as well. This is one of the things that I want to mention for the moment.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. Philip, what are you thinking as a result of what your students have been sharing here?
I couldn't have put any of that better myself. Honestly, it is just phenomenal to hear this thought process. And not only that, the fact that the action is taking place. It's not just talk, it's really walking the walk and talking the talk and really putting yourselves out there. And I just would love to go back to that term, that etiquette for posh people. It couldn't be further from the truth. You know, really, it's something, yes, it's a funny word, it's a French word, it means to label, to stick to, and that's where it comes from. But, you know, if we need to turn it into, you know, call it how we connect with one another, or human connection, you know, that's really it, that respect, that understanding for one another, that love and care for one another. What Etienne said, we have forgotten to love thy neighbor, do unto others as you wish to do it. It is absolutely astonishing, and we really need to step up. And something on this journey, which all of these amazing people are familiar with, one of the pillars of the organization is very much, if we all go out there and do a random act of goodness, a random act of kindness, go and help somebody on a daily basis, I truly believe that we can absolutely set the world in the right direction and generate this ripple effect. But it starts with each and every single one of us, and we've got to cause that pebble falling into the pool, and it's just creating that ripple effect. So, just what's been said in the last 10 minutes has just filled me with such joy and pride and just happiness.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you, everybody here on the stage. Something that comes to mind for me is that all of us here, the 5 of us, we are all in careers or in an industry where we deal with the public on a regular basis. And what comes up for me is, how do we have good manners and etiquette by channeling our emotions? Philip, you and I have talked about how emotions get in the way, but especially when you're dealing with the public and you have to make a split decision, or maybe you have a client who has hired you and they expect you to be operating at the top level all the time, but yet inside you're thinking, wow, I just left this at home, I've got this going on. How do you manage emotions? And I want you to share this for our audience, that people can take something away when they're feeling highly volatile or emotional. How do you table that? How do you channel it? What do you do with it so that you show up with a smile on your face and kindness and joy in your heart? Who would like to answer that first? Okay, we're going to go with Etienne.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn. I've been in incredibly stressful situations working for royalty and celebrities and billionaires, and when things have to happen in a split second and they get a little bit frustrated and snap out, you just have to step back, water off a duck's back, don't take it personal, just take a breath. And one of the beautiful things we learned from Philip is the 6-second rule. Just take 6 seconds before you reply, take a deep breath, send to yourself. And that also stems from the confidence you have in yourself, that knowing that it isn't about you, that it is about them and their journey, and who you are when you respond is way more valuable, because that is still on brand for you. So we just stay calm, smile, and know that tomorrow the sun rises again and it's a new day.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I do have a follow-up question. What about, and I'm going to go with Etienne, since you mentioned that you have worked with some people who are extremely well-to-do and have a major connection and influence. What about when they start to attack you personally? I told you not to do that again. You should have brought this here. You should have been here 10 minutes ago. They're attacking you personally. How do you separate the emotion of what's going on with them? You know it's about them, right? But yet it's still coming here and hitting in the heart. What do you think?
It's truly one of life's most difficult things when someone does that. you know in your heart of hearts that it's not about you, and yet it still affects you. And people can easily say things very personal about about the way you dress, or things that you did, or decisions you made. And it isn't always easy. I have slipped up multiple times, things that I am truly embarrassed about. Yet we shouldn't get bogged down by it. When someone says, "Oh, you slipped up," admit it. It was your slip up. Promise yourself first that you will be better, and then make a promise to that other person saying, "I sincerely apologize, sir. That was my mistake." Own up to your mistakes, and then you just carry on, because it doesn't help getting bogged down by the past, getting too deeply emotional about it.
I absolutely love that answer. Take responsibility for it. I think people respect us more when we say, yes, it was my fault. I take complete responsibility for it. Because how are they going to argue with you then? You already took that all away from them. There's nothing to have a conversation about. Marta, what are your thoughts?
Similarly to Etienne, I've been working with very important people from different industries. They live a very fast life and very stressful life. And first of all, as a butler, and I'm sure Etienne will agree, the preparation is the most important thing. Know as much as possible. Get all the details that you can, any arrival times, any habits that they have, any allergies, any schedules that they're going to have, everything in the place, so that you will not be surprised during the day. Of course, it will happen, you will be, but get as many information as you can so you can adapt quickly. Second thing is, I worked on myself according to the rule of not assuming one's bad intentions. So whenever I face a person who's frustrated, angry, first of all, I tell myself, his main point is not to kill you. He's just not coping with his own emotions, and maybe I'm the person to kind of help this person. So it's easier for me not to be affected when I don't assume negative intention of the other person. And I used to, and I still do, I split two situations. First thing is when I really do a mistake. I do admit it, I own it, and I ask the person to allow me to quickly improve that, because I did do a mistake. But there is another type where people are just getting aggressive and they're offending you. And here is what I say: stop. Obviously, you can comment on my service, you can comment on my team's service, you can comment on any other things, but you cannot offend people. This is the line. And I sometimes think that my industry, hospitality industry, is very much about drawing the line. Of course, every customer, every guest can complain, but in a respectful way. You can get frustrated, yes, but do not call my team stupid or give them any names. And this is where we sometimes are afraid to step up for the team. Maybe Etienne, you can relate to it a little bit, but I think that drawing a line between, okay, being frustrated because of the service and simply being aggressive, it's two different things that we are facing in the industry. Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. And something I'll just add to that, having been in the hospitality industry for so long, that when someone becomes aggressive, it's a completely different scenario. And now they're not scoring any points on the board that you really actually want to help them. You actually want to have them removed as quickly as possible, because their negativity starts to permeate through the room or through the group.
And is this the type of your guest, someone who's extremely rude and aggressive? I mean, this is why Ritz-Carlton say, excuse me, we are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
I'm learning so much today.
What would you like to share, ENKELEDA?
Oh my God, we are always learning. Even though I call myself the expert, but I am open to learn. And I guess this is a very helpful way to approach being the educator, the trainer, the coach in etiquette. So I have also been in hospitality. I used to work as a child. I started working as a child at a bakery, at a sweet shop, and I had to deal with a lot of clients. And I remember people getting angry, and I remember my aunt, which was the boss for me at the time, telling me that, Enkeleda, it's on them. You don't need to respond to their negativity, to when they are angry, to what they are saying. They might have had a very difficult day, so don't respond to them. This is something that came to my mind as everyone was sharing tips and very useful insights on this.
Thank you. Thank you. I wasn't sure if you were finished there. No, that's the great point. And I love the fact that everyone's learning from one another. So that's what this is all about. I'm going to go back to Philip for any comments that you want to share in reference to this area.
Again, just so beautifully put, and you can see the passion oozing from everyone in the program today in their own way and own light, and the experience filtering through, which is exemplary. And it is, until you face these sort of challenges, one doesn't really know how to sort of handle these sort of things. And everyone always says, oh, the customer's always right, but not when they get personal. It's definitely, and I love Marta's approach there, is that's where you draw the line, and you've got to be, and this is the power of etiquette and manners. It's the old adage, you can tell them to disappear, make them look forward to the journey, but you do it in such a diplomatic way. With polished language skills, with your etiquette and manners, and you will put them back in their box one way or the other. So I just think this is phenomenal, great material, and I pray and hope people are listening in, or they're going to listen back to this show and take some wonderful, not forget the tips and tricks, these are proper tools and skills that are being shared today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Philip. And just something else I'd like to share on this topic, and then we'll move on to another, which is many times, especially if it's a hospitality industry that's related to a vacation, for example, or maybe it's fine dining. And I've heard people over the years, they'll say, do you know how long I worked to pay for this vacation? Or do you know how blah, 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 blah. And so it's almost like they're trying to justify their bad behavior. And so you have an opportunity to either go down that path, down that rabbit hole, or you can just hold yourself strong. Just say, I'm sorry that you're going through this, or I'll do what I can. But I think the point I'm trying to get is, I've seen people then try to engage, and it just gets more. And before you know it, the person representing the organization and the customer are screaming at each other. And that can never be a good path, right? No.
More than 90%
I'm sorry, go ahead, Enkeleda.
In more than 90% of the cases, the problem is not the problem. So let's be mindful.
A lot of times you have to be a therapist, right? You're supposed to understand human behavior and still do your role in your work.
You know, Dr. Jacalyn, firstly, I would remove that person from, say, may I invite you this way, we have tea and coffee or something, we can discuss this. But Etienne, you shared something interesting with us earlier in the week, Etienne, because I think every single one of us at some stage of our lives will hit a dip, or a couple of dips, or we get anxious, or we get nervous. And Etienne, you gave us a wonderful tool the other day, which I wrote down here. I've got it here in front of me, but I'd love Etienne to share a fantastic tool that you gave us earlier in the week.
Thank you, Philip. I believe that was my tip for anxiety, since I have ADHD and I suffer with anxiety. Not suffer, let's just say there's little speed bumps oftentimes. And it's just to get yourself, if you are that customer that you are overreacting, or find yourself overstimulated, let's say. And I might butcher this slightly, and I always change it for myself. The five senses. So the first one is one thing I can taste. And sometimes you're like, well, I just taste my mouth. Then two things you can smell. I can maybe smell myself and the beautiful lady walking past. Three things I can hear. Four things I can see. And you go broader. So you start with deep in yourself and you go broader, because that brings you into yourself, but grounds you again. And then you can move on and you feel a lot more calmer and just more ready to take on the world. Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Excellent. Thank you.
That's so
I'm
easy.
wondering, where does the ego and where does the heart play a role when it comes to the lack of etiquette and manners or the implementation of etiquette and manners? Ego versus heart.
What do you reckon, Marta?
Could you please rephrase the question? I'm not really understanding it. Thank you.
Yes. So when you think about the ego, right, it's all about us. It's about me. It's about, look at me and look at my wallet and look at all the people I command and know, versus the heart. When something happens, you understand, you can relate because you're coming from a place of empathy and compassion as opposed to being in your ego.
It's a quite difficult question for me because I'm naturally a very empathetic person. I put others first, then myself, and I end up having a lot of things on my plate and then trying to satisfy everyone. And that's actually what came out from our test that we did on the course, which is a positive and a negative. However, I think that the most important thing as far as connecting with people is having this positive approach first, never to judge. Don't think whether it's their ego or whether it's their heart. It's just first assume their positive intentions, their real smile. Even you feel it's fake, come on, don't really judge it. Just from yourself, do the best that you can do. And then let's see how it develops. But ensure that from yourself, you're giving it from the heart, that your ego is actually somewhere else. And very often when I have my students and we talk about difficult situations, because we never talk about difficult guests or customers, because people are in general not difficult, they just struggle with something. I also tell them, listen, if you have someone with a very big ego, why don't you sympathize or even empathize? Can you imagine having a huge stone on your back? It's a massive thing to carry. Come on, put your heart into it. Help them. Help them. That's my advice.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And just to share a comment, I have some friends who are extremely wealthy, well-to-do, and it's a huge responsibility. It's a huge, I don't want to say it's a burden, but the amount of people who are constantly reaching out and asking for something, whether it's money, time, resources, it can be so daunting that before the person even gets out of bed, they already have a list of all these people who want something from them. And then when they go somewhere to try to relax, they are not able to let go. So I love what you said, lead with empathy and compassion, and even try to put yourself in their position.
Yes.
Definitely. However, I cannot imagine having a huge ego, but I can imagine having a huge stone on my back.
Excellent. Etienne, would you like to add something to that?
Yeah, I can. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn, once again. For me, the people I've seen with big egos, they're often unheard. It's almost like a small child overreacting. And one of the best things I ever heard was from my guru and chiropractor. She just said, kill them with kindness. Just be more kind with the egos. They're all pompous and this and that. And the more kind you are, the more you just give them. And yes, it can be give them what they want, or sometimes it's give them what they didn't even know they wanted or needed. And it just chips away at the ego like nothing before. Also because genuine kindness is so rare these days that when we actually treat someone with true kindness, with true gratitude from ourselves, then it just breaks that whole bubble of ego that they surround themselves with as a protective mechanism.
Absolutely. This is when people are not heard enough. And even though we have so many social media that were supposed to connect us, we are so disconnected. And I think it's a great point you made that they are not enough heard, even though they have money and attention and everything. It's like you can be alone in a room full of people.
Mm-hmm. So true. So true. Have you ever attended an event? Maybe it's an event that you and your team you were managing, and all day long. I'm speaking. This happened to me. You're smiling. What can I get for you? You've been up since 3 a.m, right? It's now 11 o'clock at night, and you're in that ballroom. You're somewhere by yourself, and you're like, "Wow, it's unbelievable! All that happened today, and yet here I am by myself." And actually grateful for those moments when you can just take that pause, take that time, and reflect and realize that all of the goodness that you've put out there in that room for that event, for that client. I just applaud you because it's exhausting, and I give you a lot of credit for continuing to do it with the commitment and smile that you have.
Yes.
Amazing. ENKELEDA, I know you were very keen on sort of mentioning the DISC, the personality traits.
Yes, I recently applied these tips, what you are sharing, what Etienne and Marta is sharing. I created a new platform where I put together the DISC personality, a lot of tips from, not tips, but tools from psychology, from etiquette, emotional intelligence. And there was a test, let's put it like this. There was a test that I made on the ladies who participated, that they needed to meet together and to discuss about the fact that they had different types on the DISC personality. And there were two ladies who were the opposite of each other. And the fact was that they didn't know what the other person was feeling, how the other person saw the things. And there was a lady from Sweden. She's Albanian, but she lived in Sweden. She's a manager. And the other lady lives in Albania. She works at a call center. So these two ladies met together. One had D, the other had CS or C, I don't remember very well. And having the opportunity to share what the other person was feeling, how the other person saw the things, and understanding that, whoa, where is this person coming from? How can I help this person? How can I be more kind to this person? It was life-changing. Now these two ladies are friends together. Just because they had this chance to share how they saw things. They let the ego aside and understood.
Brilliant. Thank you. So many great shares today. I'm sorry that the show is coming to a close because I'm really enjoying this. Philip, I'd love to hear from you as we come to the end of the show. What would you like to say to ENKELEDA, who's been with you for the last 2 years, and Marta and Etienne, you just spent this time with? What would you like to share?
Thank you. That's a huge word. It's a word that I take with great sincerity and seriousness, but just thank you, because without you taking action, without you putting your best foot forward, we wouldn't be together, we wouldn't know one another, we wouldn't be in a privileged position to be able to create this genuine, deep-rooted research and material and transport it out into this world. Because this is, sometimes when I'm standing and coaching, I don't even know sometimes where the message comes from. I truly believe that we are put on this earth to channel this incredible energy, material, and guidance and steering and empathy and care. And it takes very special people to do that. And I know for a fact that you already have changed lives, and you're going to continue to do so. The impact that you have is just scratching the surface right now. And I just want to applaud you. I want to be on this journey with you. We all do. The door's always open at the British School of Excellence, and we are here to support you in any way we can. And on behalf of me, the organization, Leanne, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Philip. And thank you to Leanne. I'm so glad that you mentioned her. Leanne is always working behind the scenes to make things happen, and I really respect her and admire her. As we close out today, we're going to go around our lightning round. Please give any information to our audience if they take one thing away from the show about how you can help them and how they can reach you. What would it be? Marta, we'll start with you.
If there are any hoteliers, any people who are from the hotel industry, definitely I'll be the one to train your teams, especially the front of house teams, in building strong relationships with the guests, handling difficult situations, giving them confidence to do so, and also sharing your business among people or suggesting your hotels to some high potentials that I do. You can contact me through my email or through my website or through my Instagram that is shown just below my face. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Thank you, Marta. I know we heard in the beginning that you travel extensively. Can you work with people across the world?
Yes, I did train butlers in Marrakesh in a luxury hotel. I did work in China in a super luxury hotel. Basically, I was part of the opening team. And I also worked with some great hotels in Kenya and still do here in Poland. Therefore, I'm quite well traveled, and it's not an issue for me to jump on the plane and meet your team.
Outstanding. Thank you. Thank you. You're only a flight away. Thank you. Let's go over to Etienne. How can people reach you? Who do you want to contact you?
We can't hear Etienne.
Apologies. Thank you so much, Marta. And also thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. My details are down here. I do not only train butlers. In fact, I am leaving that ultra luxury world not behind. I'm still there supporting it and believing in it, but I believe in the everyman. So waiters, hotels, restaurants, anyone in South Africa or across the world that wants to update their service, update their customer care, anything like that. I even do interior design. One of the things I've done before in my long life. That is why it's Jack of Diamonds, a Jack of all trades, and Diamonds for Brilliance. So you can contact me down here. Instagram, there's not much on yet, but it's a growing platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, ENKELEDA, how about you? Who would you like to contact you, and what's the value you can bring to our audience?
It's amazing that these two amazing people are here because they are witnessing the fact that the British School of Excellence supports them in so many ways. I wanted to add that. So you can contact me if you are in pregnancy, in postpartum, a new mother, a mother-to-be. I focus on pregnancy and postpartum, etiquette and emotional intelligence, but not only that, I can support you in so many ways with your schedules, with how you can communicate with others, how you can be even more positive, how you can communicate with your partner, with your relatives at work, how you can have a more positive life and without that stress and overwhelm that brings the postpartum period.
Thank you, ENKELEDA. Would you say that your area of focus is really mental health, wellness, and communication skills?
Yes, I could say that. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Well, another fabulous episode. Thank you all so much for being here. Philip, of course, without you and without the British School of Excellence, this would not be possible. And as I've said many times, yes, a huge hug, Friday. We met by coincidence, I would say. And you and I have worked together. We are dear friends. We have been through a lot of things together, even though we have not met in person, but we will. And so what I just want to share with everybody here on the stage, and as well as people who are at home watching, you never know where a connection will take you. You've got people here today who are asking you to reach out. I'm asking you to reach out to them because they have value to bring to you. If you don't make the connection, if you don't write down their Instagram or their LinkedIn or their website, you're missing an opportunity. So all the contact details are there. And if you missed the beginning of the show, we'll be rerunning it again several times next week, but you can find it on our YouTube channel, USA Global TV and Radio. Philip, over to you to close out the program.
Thank you to Marta, ENKELEDA, and Etienne. By dankie meneer, dziękuję, and grazie. I don't know how to say thank you in Albanian yet. I will one day. It's been a joy. It's been an absolute joy to have everyone here on the show. This show is very much about you. Dr. Jacalyn and myself, would like to invite you back to numerous other shows. I think ENKELEDA has appeared 3 or 4 times already. You could even strike up your own show if you would like to. We've never done anything in the butlership world, the customer beautiful. It is something that Dr. Jacalyn does on representing hotels and restaurants, and things, but I could see a couple of really wonderful things taking place. But as a brand, as an organization, it goes back to the dynamic people that have take that initiative to put their best foot forward. And sometimes they're jumping out the aircraft and building a parachute on the way down, and that is phenomenal. As Richard Branson often says, say yes and figure out a way to do it. And that in life is, I wish more people would do that, because so much holds us back. And one of them is fear. And for me, fear is false evidence appearing real. It really is. And what is the fear? What's the worst thing that could possibly happen? And this organization is going to continue to grow. And I want to see people out there supporting all the people that walk through our door, embrace them, use them, get hold of them, and use their services, because you will not be disappointed.
What a beautiful way to round out the program. Thank you so much, Philip. I really appreciate it. All right, we are going to go ahead and sign off for now. Our next show is coming up. It's Talking Heads with Dr. Madeline Chan. If you're new to our channel, we have about 43 different shows that you can choose from where you can be a guest. And if you're interested in joining our team, please do reach out. Our contact information is there in the notes. So please do stay tuned for our sponsorship from the British School of Excellence. We are so grateful and so appreciative of this partnership that we've built. And for people out there, you too can build partnerships, but you've got to get off the couch. You've got to get out there and connect with other people. So please do reach out to the wonderful people we have here today on our program. Thanks again. We'll be back shortly. And thank you to the British School of Excellence and Mr. Philip Sykes. This program is brought to you in part by the British School of Excellence and founder, Mr. Philip Sykes. Building confidence, changing lives. Do you share our view that etiquette is a set of modern life skills that are essential for personal and professional success? Join us as an etiquette coach and change people's lives through the power of etiquette and manners.
The last few days have been really amazing. I had a trainer course from the British School of Etiquette.
And I must say it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made and one of the best investments I've made in my own training and development.
Now, words alone will not describe the transformation and the positive path that I have traveled with the British School of Etiquette.
I found I learned a lot from the lessons this time I came.
The last few days with the British School of Etiquette have been fantastic.
And what I've learned now is really beyond my expectations.
This is the most rewarding experience, best investment I have made this year.
It was just great. I learned so much, and when I go back to Belgium, I will incorporate a lot of it into my day-to-day life and business.
It's been absolutely wonderful for the whole week that we were here.
I feel transformed, and I feel like blowing a trumpet and tell people, come and do this school. This class is the best. This is the best school ever.
You should take it. It will change your life immediately.
I am now able to teach other people how to bring the best of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, BSc.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to our clients for their testimonials on the Train the Trainer program. Our exponential and global growth is so significant that we've evolved from the British School of Etiquette to the British School of Excellence, where we're investors in people. Let us invest in you and your career. Contact us to become an etiquette coach. Go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. Start your career and elevate your success today.